Beth, hop on, Beth.
Wow, thank you so much for letting me come up and speak.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you, sir.
So what's on your mind, Miss Beth?
Oh, I'm just frustrated. Everything is a psyop. Everything is bullshit. Every day we have a new thing going on. We've got the Diddy thing. We've got what was it? A couple of months ago, some other. Remember the movie that everybody was supposed to watch? It's just bullshit. I'm
Hmm.
just tired of it. I'm tired of it. I mean, if we're going to actually find something, we already kind of have an idea of what's going on and who's behind it, don't we?
I don't know, ma'am. You're being very vague, so I don't know.
Well, there seems to be a monolithic group of people that are behind a lot of things that are not of God or Jesus.
Hmm. Yep, I agree with that. And
And
that group
though,
and that group is called white supremacists.
oh, stop. White supremacists, really?
Yeah,
The white race, the
the
white
white supremacists.
supremacists. I
The white.
see thumbs down.
Why? Why?
Somebody's doing thumbs down.
Why?
White
Who's?
supremacists. Let me tell you about white supremacists,
Tell me
sir.
about them. Tell me about them.
Um, a lot of us white supremacists, if you're being serious, I hope you're not being serious.
Ma'am, that's a term from your community. That's what they told us they were. That's their term, ma'am. They went out of their way to tell us that they were white supremacists and how supreme they were. They had laws telling us how supreme they were.
No, no,
What,
no, stop.
what do you mean
Listen.
stop? No, 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 no,
Well,
no, 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 ma'am, no. No, stop. The founding fathers were talking about how supreme they were.
yes, of course
Thomas
they were
Jefferson.
because they wrote. Listen, please, for a
Man, but no,
moment.
no, no, but I
Wait,
want
wait,
you to
wait.
listen, ma'am. No, no,
Let's
no. Because you're saying it, that like I'm making it up. Your forefathers said all of this stuff, ma'am.
but wait. Let's talk about the present. Let's
Yes,
not keep talking about the past.
but
Let's
man,
talk about
but no, no, no,
those
no,
of
no,
us
no,
who
no,
had to
no,
actually
no,
live
no,
in the what,
no, because you
sir?
still commemorate those people. There's a reason why you have them on the money. You have statues of them
But you're
commemorate.
using their money.
Right,
Yes.
you're commemorating them, ma'am. You still
We are
commemorate
all
these. Right,
commemorating them.
right,
We,
and you
not
fight.
you, not I, we.
Because
We
I
are
damn
all part of
sure
the United States.
I don't commemorate these statues of these people.
But
I
we are
fight to get them
all part of
removed.
the United States of America. So you
Right.
can't
That's
say
why.
we, you, I.
No,
It's
ma'am.
all
No,
of
no,
us.
no, 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 ma'am. I fight to get those statues down. I'm the one who helps to get those statues taken down of some of these demonic white supremacist icons of yours, ma'am. So no, 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 no. We're a little bit different. I fight white supremacy. I don't
But
support
you
it.
just muted me when I was speaking.
Right,
I
because you're
agreed
speaking, no,
with
ma'am,
you.
ma'am. Okay, okay. You're speaking over me. You got to calm down, ma'am. All right, but go ahead.
I'm not upset. I agree with you. I believe that there are.
They're what, dear?
I believe that people have misunderstandings of what's happening in the current situation in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think that everybody has an equal.
An equal what, Beth?
I think we all have a. Well, I can go get a job anywhere I want, and so can
White
anybody else.
as a white woman, you can, yes.
Well, why
So,
can't a Hispanic person or a black person?
so, ma'am, let's be real. You think that black people, right now, 2024, still don't face job discrimination?
Well, no, because they've been offered affirmative action. They've also been offered
Oh God. Oh God.
DEI. What do you mean? Oh God, it's the truth. That's what's happening in America. That's why America is falling.
Beth,
Because the people that are qualified to get the jobs are no longer getting the jobs.
Beth,
Yes?
you know affirmative action was absorbed by white women like you, ma'am. White women get more affirmative action
Sir,
historically than anybody.
sir, I will agree with you 100%.
So why are you
If you
sitting?
look at my, hold on, if
So
you
why are
look
you
at my
sitting here playing games?
timeline, I talk about feminism. Feminism has destroyed women. I
Ma'am,
agree with you,
the
sir.
subject, you're saying stuff, ma'am. You know good and well affirmative action doesn't help black people.
Of course it doesn't, but
So
DEI
why did you?
does.
No, it doesn't, ma'am.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
No, it
Because
doesn't.
standards have been lowered because a lot of African Americans who have come from Africa have lower IQs.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
so okay. So if we have lower IQs and you have to use DEI to allow black people into certain institutions, does that
Yes.
does that kind of degenerate the institutions
Well, yes, that's why we have a problem going on in the country right now.
because of the low IQ black people flooding these institutions, right?
Well, yes.
Name these institutions that's just flooded with black people
Dude,
using
look at the
DEI.
country right now. Are you serious right now?
Name the institutions, Beth.
Name
Name
the
the,
institutions.
name the
Look around the
institutions.
country at what's
No,
happening right
no,
now.
ma'am,
I don't
ma'am,
have to name
Beth,
institutions.
because you can't
Everybody, all they have to do is look around at what's going on in this country right now.
name
Everybody's been,
name the institutions that have black people flooding these institutions with DEI.
well, if you didn't mute me, I would keep
Because you're not
saying,
going to
look
babble.
around the country. No,
You're not
look
saying
around the
anything
country
specific.
at
Look around.
everything that,
Look around the country ain't an answer, ma'am. That's a deflection, Beth. So, Beth,
it's not a deflection.
that's a
Stop
deflection,
muting me. Look around the country
Beth.
at everything that's failing right now.
So it's
And
failing
it will,
because of so it's failing because of low black IQs and DEI.
do you think it's because of high IQs and hardworking people? Are you
Like
serious?
what? Who are the high IQ people?
Do you think that the high IQ people are allowing this country to fail right now? Or do
Who
you
are
think that people have been,
who, Beth, are the high IQ people, ma'am? Who are the high IQ people? Beth, can you tell me who the high IQ people are?
well, if you would stop muting me every 2 seconds so I could speak, you
The
laugh.
babble, you're
It's
not
so
going to
funny.
babble. You're going to answer questions. I'm not going to let you go on a rant. Who are the
I
high
didn't
IQ
go on
people?
a rant. I responded
Who
to
are
you
who are the
two
high
or
IQ
three
people?
times. Who do you think the high IQ people are?
My IQ is low. I
Who do
don't
you
know.
think are behind the infrastructure of this country? Who do you think are behind every engineering, everything that's been behind this country? Do you think low IQ people who are lazy, who don't want to work,
Hmm.
that want to take welfare or
You
subsidies, or hold on,
you mean your brethren in Middle America in the trailer parks with the meth pipes? That's flooding the country. That's flooding the country, ma'am. So are they the high IQ people? Your brethren in Middle America in all of those trailer parks with their little meth pipes, are they the high IQ people, ma'am?
without white European people,
Uh huh.
this country will fail. And every country that has been 40% non white European people have failed.
Beth,
So
where's your
if you
Beth?
want
Beth,
to laugh,
Beth,
if you want
Beth?
to laugh,
Oh, Beth, slow down, dear. Slow down. Beth, when did your family get here to America from Europe? When did your family get here from Europe to America?
when did yours, sir?
My family has been here for centuries, going back.
Oh,
I
right,
trade.
because you were slaves, right? Were
Right.
you picking cotton?
Well,
Were
yeah.
you, sir, picking cotton? Was it so horrific for you? Oh
So,
my gosh. You
ma'am,
were picking cotton?
when did your family get here from Europe, ma'am? When did your family get here from Europe? And what part of Europe did they come from, ma'am? Miss Beth?
Well, stop muting me, dude.
So, yeah, you're not going.
No, no, no. It's really funny.
Ma'am, you're not going to use your corny 4chan wit. It's just not funny and it's boring. And I'm asking you a real question. You're trying to deflect from it, and I can understand you being ashamed of your European background. You want to sit here and brag about the greatness of Europe, but you're too ashamed to name what part of Europe you're from. So you just contradicted yourself, ma'am. You see, I'm a foundational Black American. Yes, my family was enslaved, but they
You're
survived.
not a foundational.
Yeah, ma'am. My family was enslaved and survived it and created some of the most influential cultures of this country. So you're welcome, ma'am. That's what gave you a lane to flee to come over here from the slums of Europe. That's
White
why you
men
had to,
have built
that.
everything.
That's why you had to flee from Europe, ma'am. You're talking about all of the greatness, ma'am. If it was so great, you wouldn't have had to fled from the dilapidated slums of Europe and crawl your ass over to Ellis Island to come eat off us.
White men have built everything that you're doing and living on right now.
Ma'am, foundational Black Americans built all of that stuff. We were literally the foundation of this country when your white
Do
pappy,
you people really believe
ma'am, when the white supremacists, and I always bring this up, Beth, when y'all came over here to North America and tried to form colonies without Black people, you failed over and over again. Do you understand that, Beth? Y'all failed repeatedly.
you were used as slaves until
Uh-huh.
machinery came around and they
uh
realized they could get it done better because you're lazy?
Ma'am, lazy is sitting up in the slums of Europe waiting on Black people 3,000 miles away to create an infrastructure so you can flee to. That's lazy.
Africans are still living in huts. Do you
I don't live in no Africa. Ma'am, I have nothing to do with what's going on in Africa, ma'am. I'm a foundational Black American. You sat your ass up there in Ireland somewhere, musty with headlights all around your pubic hair, and you needed Black Daddy to build a country or to flee to.
foundational American?
Yeah, ma'am, you needed Black Daddy to, to
You
build
guys are crazy.
a country so you can flee from Ireland, ma'am. So you're welcome, dear. Beth, Beth left. Was I touching a nerve? I didn't get Beth out of here. I started touching a nerve. Beth bounced. Yeah, don't sit here and brag about your great European genealogy and you're too ashamed to admit what part of Europe you're from. Yeah, I don't want to hear about that. My lineage is here. I'm a foundational Black American. My lineage is here, going back centuries. Proud of how my FBA ancestors were able to survive. They were spiritually strong. They had the spirit of Mojara and they taught the world a lesson. That's why we are the moral compass of the world. Everything is all about what do the FBAs think about it? Who are the FBAs supporting? Nobody has more moral capital than us, ma'am. All right. Let's get Pete. Let's get Pistol Pete in here. What's up, Pete?
How you doing?
I'm good, Pete. How are you?
All right. So say I'm racist, and I'm like black people, what's the normal? 60% of the crime, 30% of statistics. That's what's tossed out the most.
Right.
What's
Okay.
your response? Because I know you have a good one.
Okay. All right. So if we commit 60% of the crime, why?
Yeah, so it's obviously there's strong correlation with poverty and family and community.
Okay. So what is it about our family and community that makes us commit 60% of the crime when we're only, what, 13% of the population? Do you know how much crime that is in a country of what, 300 million people?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
And
so like then
50%
the
we commit.
usual response would be the fatherhood thing, right?
Okay. So the fatherhood, but here's the thing. When the black fathers were in the home, those crime rates were still high. The crime rates for black people have been high since the early 1900s. The crime rates for black people have always been high. Why do you think that is?
I mean, the strongest correlation we have to crime in any society is being impoverished. But there's nuances in America with how people were brought over here and how a new country handled democracy and especially a civil war and how that broke out. But go
But,
ahead.
but we got to unpack all of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's unpack all of it because, like I said, going back to the early 1900s, when you look at paper, look at documents, the black crime rate on paper has always been extremely higher than the rest of the dominant white society. So the father thing ain't it, right? It can't be the father. That's just the excuse. It's not the father thing.
Yeah, no, that's just the media.
Right. So it's
Yep.
not the
No, I
when
agree.
fathers were in the home, the on paper the crime rates were higher. You know why they were higher? Because more things have always been illegal for black people to do. So we get criminalized more. That's it. We just get targeted for crime by the white supremacists. During the Jim Crow era, hell, a black person drinking from a wrong water fountain was a
Yeah,
crime.
you couldn't breathe on a white woman.
Right. A
Yep.
black
No, I
person
agree.
a black person walking on the same side of the street as a white woman was a crime. A black person in a swimming pool was a crime. More things are criminalized with black people. During the Jim Crow era, it was official. Now it's unofficial, but we still get criminalized for it. Certain things are illegal for us to do. We get criminalized more. So where white people do not. White people have somewhat of an immunity from law. That's the deal with white supremacy. For example, there's no black version of a Kyle Rittenhouse. You understand? A black person in a million years can't sit up here and plot to kill somebody, go across state lines, kill two people, and then have the court system sit up here and protect them like they did Kyle Rittenhouse. A
Yeah,
black
no,
person,
I don't disagree. And even if you take the
right,
court side out of it, I'd say even the more important thing
right,
there is the heroism that was made out
right.
of him in the media.
Right. Now,
If
in
even if
a
you
million
take the whole court thing away from it.
Right. So that's an example of what I'm talking about. Most of white America get the Kyle Rittenhouse treatment. The Kyle Rittenhouse was the extreme of it. They had to make a big display of it, but that's the crime rate right there. Your crimes, you get treated like a hero. We get criminalized and punished for every little thing we do. If we get choked and say, ouch, that hurts, that's a crime because, hey, you're resisting arrest now. You see, we get criminalized more. And that's because of systematic white supremacy. So we have a white supremacy problem, not a crime problem. We get rid of systematic white supremacy and replace that with a system of justice. The criminalization that goes away.
Yeah, no, no, for sure. And then what do you think about whatever the DEI couple, the woman we're talking about? Do you think it's hurting the black community? I know you think it's not helping at all. I mean,
That's
I know
DEI is another made up nothing burger that every few years the white supremacists come up with a new epithet for black people. If it's not I don't argue that bullshit. It's last year it was CRT.
yep.
Then, before that, it was affirmative action. Now it's DEI and it's woke. There's always these little epithets. It's like Atwater, what Atwater said. Now that the white supremacists, you can't say nigga, nigga, nigga. You got to come up with code words. And all that is a code word for black people and how we got to punish them. You got to pretend that black people are trying to get over using some kind of boogeyman policy. Oh, the CRT. Oh, the black people are coming and they got their CRT. And it means nothing. It's just an epithet towards black people to badger us and to justify subjugating us. It's a white boogeyman that's a nothing burger. There is no DEI. Black people are not in. That's why the white supremacist woman earlier who called talking about black people getting into all of these institutions with DEI. Damn it, name them. And you can't name them because it doesn't exist. It's another black boogeyman. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Just like
well,
white
yeah,
supremacy.
no, I agree with you. But if I were to like make her argument for her, because she was too dumb to even say like whatever, like colleges, how they're becoming more diversified or whatever term they
And,
use, law
and it's not
schools.
with black people. These colleges, they're not diversifying them with black people. What
Yeah,
they do,
Indians, Asian
right?
Americans.
They put
Yep, no, I agree.
LGBT, they put all of these other groups, but we become the face of the backlash. See, they'll say a DEI program is for this college, and they'll let over a bunch of white Hispanics, a bunch of Asians, a bunch of East Indians, a bunch of Arabs, a bunch of white LGBT, and one black person. And then that black person becomes the face of inequality. Look at this black person in this school. He got in on DEI. Oh, it's a black takeover. You dig? So we
Oh
always
no, I agree 100%.
singled out to be badgered.
Hmm.
That's just how white supremacy works. But anyway, thank you so much. Let me get some more calls. All right. Yeah, we got to understand the game. They always use these little epithets in order to badger us. That's why black folks. Man, my thing is, I don't know. We're believing everything that the white authorities say. Going back to the puffy thing, what's when did Negroes start caping for the feds? That's you know, and I know it's a lot of sock puppet Fed accounts, but I hope it ain't no real genuine people out here caping for the feds like that, where y'all believing everything the feds are saying, like they don't pull the same routine on most black people who are in certain positions. You know, hope cats ain't getting soft out here. All right. Okay, this is Devon. Okay, this we got the musty tether. Okay, let's get this musty tether. He's making
From the culture of the American South, where roots hold stories, comes a natural deodorant inspired by generations of wisdom. Introducing Rootwork, the all-natural foundational Black American-based deodorant infused with the magic of High John the Conqueror root. Our unique blend enriched with this legendary root offers 24-hour protection, rooted in the power of nature. Embrace this deodorant that celebrates culture, history, and your well-being. Unlock the magic of Rootwork today. Experience the pure essence of nature. Visit rootworkstyle.com and make the switch to a healthier cultural choice.